Most people think they understand why truck drivers sleep in their trucks. They're wrong. Most people assume these guys are cheap, won't spend money on a real bed, just toughing it out in a cramped cab because they don't want to open their wallet. That assumption is wrong on almost every level. Truck drivers sleep in their trucks for reasons that have nothing to do with being cheap. Some of it is federal law. Some of it is math that makes a hotel look genuinely ridiculous when you run the numbers. Some of it is that the inside of a modern sleeper cab would surprise most people who've never seen one. And some of it is something most people never think about at all. Let's get into all of it. The law comes first. Before cost, before comfort, before personal preference, there's a federal regulation shaping every single night a long-haul driver spends on the road. Hours of service rules, enforced by the FMCSA. A driver can drive a maximum of 11 hours within a 14-hour working window. After that window closes, they are legally required to take a minimum 10-hour break before they can drive again. Not suggested, required. The truck's electronic logging device records everything and violations carry serious fines. But here's the part most people miss. The clock doesn't care where the truck is when it runs out. A driver doesn't get to finish their hours and then cruise to a comfortable location. The clock expires in an industrial corridor, on a stretch of highway with nothing around it, in a truck stop 3 states from anywhere resembling a hotel district. Wherever the 11 hours end, that's where the truck stops. The law doesn't give them a choice about stopping. The location is whatever it is. Now run the numbers. A hotel is $100 a night on the conservative end. Near major interstates, it's closer to $120 to $150. A long-haul driver is on the road roughly 250 nights a year. At $100, that's $25,000. At $150, it's $37,500 per year just sleeping. Most company drivers earn between $55,000 and $75,000 annually. Spending a third to half of that on hotel rooms isn't a financial decision any serious driver is making voluntarily. The truck stop shower costs $15. Sometimes it's complimentary with a fuel purchase. The cab is already there. The bed is already in it. The math isn't close. The parking problem nobody mentions. Here's the part of this conversation that almost never comes up. Where exactly is a truck driver supposed to park at a hotel? A standard semi with a loaded trailer is 70 to 75 feet long. It weighs up to 80,000 pounds. Many hotels don't allow commercial vehicles. The ones that do have a single back corner that fits maybe 2 trucks if everyone parks perfectly. And the trailer, unhook it and leave it somewhere. Drive the bobtail to the hotel and leave the loaded trailer sitting unattended in a random lot overnight? None of these are good answers. All of them add time, complexity, and risk to a night that should be simple. Truck stops exist specifically for this. Hundreds of spaces designed for exactly this vehicle. Pull in, back into a spot, done. The infrastructure question alone makes hotels impractical before everything else even enters the conversation. The cargo sitting in that trailer. This is the angle most people never consider. When a driver parks for the night, that trailer behind them doesn't become empty. It's still loaded. Consumer products, electronics, industrial equipment, refrigerated food. Whatever the shipment is, it's sitting in an open parking lot for the next 10 hours. Trailers are built tough, but a stationary truck in an open rest area overnight is a different situation than a moving truck on a highway. Unauthorized access happens. Cargo tampering happens. And a single incident doesn't just hurt the driver, it breaks a logistics chain that entire distribution centers are depending on. The driver sleeping in that cab isn't just resting. They're the last line of defense for whatever is sitting behind them. A hotel room down the road doesn't protect the trailer. The driver in the sleeper cab does. When you understand the value of what's in that trailer on any given night and how exposed a parked truck actually is, the decision to stay with the vehicle stops looking like habit and starts looking like the only responsible call. About that cab? Here's where most people's mental image is about 30 years out of date. When people picture a driver sleeping in their truck, they picture a guy folded up behind the front seats on a thin foam pad. That's not what a modern sleeper cab is. A full-size sleeper on a Kenworth T680 or Peterbilt 579 has a bed that's 80 inches long, full-size mattress, upper and lower bunk configurations, overhead cabinets, built-in LED lighting, USB ports, power outlets throughout. Beyond the sleeping area, refrigerator, microwave, television, inverter, running 110-volt power for any standard appliance, blackout curtains across every window, an APU, keeping the cab at temperature all night without running the main engine. It functions less like a vehicle interior and more like a small studio apartment that happens to have an engine on the front of it. The hotel isn't necessarily an upgrade. Why the cab looks this way? This didn't happen by accident. Early trucks weren't built for living. The cab was purely a driving compartment. Engine, controls, seat, windshield. Drivers who needed rest found whatever they could. A cot behind the seat if they were lucky, the floor if they weren't. The industry eventually had to make a deliberate engineering decision. To create real living space inside the cab, manufacturers had to raise the cab height significantly, relocate mechanical components that previously occupied that space, and completely restructure the front of the vehicle around a new priority: the driver's ability to rest inside it. That's not a small change. That's rebuilding the fundamental architecture of the truck around the reality that this vehicle is also someone's home for weeks at a time. The sleeper cab didn't appear because it was a nice idea. It appeared because the alternative, drivers not resting properly or resting somewhere impractical on a schedule that moves billions of dollars of freight across the country, wasn't working. The truck was redesigned around the job, and the job includes sleeping in it, 3 and 4 weeks at a time. This is the one that reframes the whole conversation. Long-haul drivers aren't away from home for a night or two like a business traveler at a conference. Many run routes that keep them on the road for 3 to 4 weeks straight before they see their house again. For those drivers, the truck isn't an alternative to a hotel. The truck is home. Their clothes are in there. Their routines are built around that cab. Which truck stop has the best coffee on their regular route? Which parking spots get the most shade in summer? The alarm that goes off at the same time every morning in the same bunk. Checking into a hotel for one night in the middle of a 25-day run doesn't feel like a treat. It feels like a disruption. Different bed, different sounds, different everything. And then, back in the truck tomorrow anyway. The cab is familiar. The cab is theirs. After enough miles, that matters more than a hotel bathrobe. What the night actually looks like, driver hits their 11-hour limit. Electronic log closes the window. They find a truck stop with available space. During peak freight seasons, parking is genuinely competitive, and some drivers plan their stopping point hours ahead just to secure a spot. Pull in, fuel if needed, shower if the route has been long, heat something up in the microwave or grab food from the restaurant, call home if the timing works, curtains across the windows, a PU on, bunk already made because it's always made. 10 hours later, the log opens and they're rolling. No checkout, no elevator, no hunting for where they parked, no detour back to the interstate. Pull out of the space and continue the route. So why do truck drivers sleep in their trucks instead of hotels? Because the clock runs out wherever the truck is, not wherever a hotel happens to be nearby. Because $25,000 a year in hotels isn't real on a driver's salary. Because parking a 75-foot rig at a Holiday Inn is its own separate nightmare. Because that loaded trailer needs someone close to it all night. Because the cab was literally redesigned by the industry specifically so drivers could live inside it. And because for a driver 3 weeks into a 4-week run, that cab isn't an inconvenience. It's home. We started this video with one assumption, that drivers sleep in their trucks because they're cheap. None of that is cheap. All of it is deliberate. The next time you see a dark cab in a truck stop at midnight, you'll know exactly what's going on inside it. And you'll know why it makes complete sense. Like if this one made you see it differently. Subscribe if you want more. We'll see you on the next one.